Talking Cougar basketball, we switched things up this week to the women's side. In her second season, the head coach of the Cougar women's team, Jessica Keller, joining me, Cosmo, here on the Coach's Show. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you.
This time around, a full off season, a full regular season, 1 year under your belt, and into year two. Besides the obvious difference of the calendar and the amount of time, and now you've got to know a lot of the players a little bit, but just talk about what the summer was like and just kind of the off season for you, being on campus and not having to go through all the hiring process and all that.
Yeah, well, it was a little less stressful, I think. Wasn't worried about moving or anything like that, but we were really, really busy, and my staff did a great job. We got out on the road. We saw a ton of summer basketball, and we were really just trying to build for the future. So our players held some open gyms here this summer, actually, against some other colleges, local colleges that came in. We had a chance to see our girls play a little bit in the off season, and then we secured 4 commitments for the following season. So, our work is always kind of looking a year ahead, and now we were really fortunate when we got on campus in August to just say, okay, this is our team this year. Now, what's the plan? So we really spent the summer trying to continue to build this program.
Most definitely. You finished 22-11, 16-8 in the AMC, and put a good run in the tournament. Of course, having Freed Hardman in the AMC is not the easiest thing to do. You gave him some battles in the regular season and just couldn't quite get them in the semis to finish off your year. Talk about the seniors, the 4 girls that finished their career with Ashley and Aqua and Tierney, and then Dub, as you called her, with Kayla Washington. Talk about what those girls meant to you in your first season as the coach here at CC.
Yeah, they were tremendous seniors. Great athletes, great people in general to have my first season here. I felt like they took me under their wing a little bit and said, we buy in, coach, and we're going to do what you tell us, even though they knew they only had the 1 season. And so they very well could have led that team in another direction, and they followed our guidance and really had done what I'd asked them. We asked them to fill some different roles and run a little bit different style, learn a new offense all within a few months of their last season. Those are kids that we'll never really replace. They're kids that'll always be near in my heart, near and dear to me, because my first seniors as a head coach. So they performed. They pulled us through a lot of close games. Kayla Washington, I thought, just improved tremendously. Aqua Corpening, again, the kid played her best season to date, up until that point was her senior year. And so I'm really proud of how she just absolutely worked harder on the defensive end and improved as an overall player. And then Tierney Seifert continued to be super steady for us, and she was just that leader we knew we could count on. And again, as Ashley Fisher battled injuries and sicknesses and everything else, was extremely productive and always, a consistent scorer and rebounder for us.
Because anytime you have a coaching change, I think on the player, student athlete side, it's always the seniors that are kind of in that limbo mode, like, okay, we've been with this coach up until now, and now we got 1 year left. What's this going to be like for, so much is put to that senior season, their last go around. It's such an important season, and certainly accomplished a lot, getting over 22 wins and put a good run on the AMC.
Yeah, we were proud of what they were able to accomplish. Ashley Fisher broke that 1,000 career points mark right away too in her senior season. I thought that they did a great job setting the tone for what we expect as a program and as a staff, and what I'm looking for as a head coach. So I can always be, in their debt for that.
Then 7 returners, and in some regard, you almost make it 8 with the PC actually going to get to play. Is that the knock on whatever we're not on that Petrolina has battled with the concussion injuries over her time here early at Columbia College, didn't see the floor at all last year, and also being led by Corey Hamilton is kind of the star next to her name, is really the next great leader, if you will, for this ball team. Talk about the girls that are back for you.
Yeah, Corey Hamilton, our kind of our key right away. We know teams are going to key on her. She's a returning honorable mention All-American. Great kid. She has continued to improve her game. She came in willing to get even better, and she's in even better shape. She's stronger. She's able to score around the rim even better this year. So really excited about the steps that she's taken, and just hasn't become complacent with maybe being that All-American. We look for her to contribute at the same levels. She led us in rebounding, led us in scoring last year, so we would expect her to do the same. But as you said, Petrolina Shalaka, PC, we're just really excited about her athleticism and just her overall health. She's been healthy this year so far, knock on wood. And, she brings so much energy and again, athleticism, she's got the ability to get her shot off at any time. And so she can get up and guard. She does a ton. And then to have Caprice Marshall for a whole season, we're really looking forward to having Caprice run the point guard spot. She can score it. She can get us in our offense. She really pushes the tempo. And another kid who can guard, 94 feet. So those three, and then Marta Imoniana is also healthy this year. So can go off of 2 knees. We can go either way. And her touch around the basket has really improved. So great core returner.
Most definitely. And Brittany back with size. Brittany Yost had a lot of big minutes last year and really improved down the stretch, especially, I thought.
She did. She's another one, kind of battled some injuries. She's just getting healthy off of a knee surgery in the offseason, so we're kind of working her back in. She's just getting cleared this week, hopefully, to get into 5-on-5. But a kid who just has a knack for scoring it. She shoots it really well from the outside. In all the drills that she's jumped in, she's shown the ability to continue to score it. So, we're excited for her to get back in the rotation, but it still leaves it on Corey and Marta right now in the block.
Most definitely. We're talking with Jessica Keller, head women's basketball coach at Columbia College, into year number 2. The motto for this year is less face masks.
Right.
So we'll go with that. I think there was, 4 at one point? Three? Okay, all the point guards. So when you go out to recruit, because I know you've got several new point guards coming in, as we talk about the 6 new players, if my numbers are right, that are coming in for this upcoming season. You didn't have to even sell them on the point. Don't worry.
I didn't.
You don't automatically get a face mask to wear when you play point guard for Columbia College. Talk about the guards. We'll just start there at the spot.
Well, 2 of them have already gotten black eyes, so I think they've started off on the right foot.
Already jinxed it.
Those kids are, it's going to take a lot more than we talked about the face masks last year to kind of deter our kids. Those black eyes, they've taken some hits already in practice, and our freshmen have been super impressive. Alexis Uffman at the point position just provides some stability. Came from a really great high school program. She's a really great just basketball mind, so she knows how to run our offense and is really good. We've put in some ball screen action, so really good off the ball screen stuff. We would expect right away Ashley Marlett and Morgan Brandt to start for us. They're going to come ready to play. Ashley Marlett can just shoot the ball like crazy. She's 2nd in the state of Missouri in career 3-pointers. So should give you a good idea on what she's capable of, but also she's a multi-dimensional player. She can finish at the rim. She can finish, runners and floaters different ways. She can guard. She guards the ball extremely well. So she's another kid that's going to be really exciting with the ball in her hands and off the ball. And then Morgan Brandt is just kind of a do-it-all kid. We're playing her a little bit in that wing and forward spot. Really, as much as we can have her on the floor is going to help our team. So another kid that's just super tough kid. She's been going against Corey every day in practice, and so they're both making each other better. Great competition, and we're really excited to play someone else.
Yeah, exactly. And what talk about that practice? You go from off-season conditioning into actual, when you can actually get them in organized practices and things of that nature. What is the preseason practice regimen like, especially when you have a split team with new and returning players, trying to get everybody to gel as quick as possible? What's the secret to that sauce, if you will?
Well, I hope we found it. I don't know. We'll see soon. But, we tried to we did a lot of team activities, and then we also did a lot of upperclassmen, underclassmen grouped together. So in the preseason, we did a lot of running. We did a lot of individual workouts. We did a lot of things where we challenged the girls. We weren't happy with where we were last March, not making the national tournament. And so we've really stepped up, our expectations as a coaching staff, and our girls have really responded to it. So we kept them extremely busy. They, their weightlifting program, they've really gone after. They have increased all of their strength already. We just tested them after 8 weeks. We did everything from body mass to all those fun tests. So our girls have just, they've gotten in great shape to start with, and then we've built that trust. We started practice 30 practices ago, so we've been able to we started back from the beginning and kind of retaught everything that we needed the girls to know. Even the seniors, they went through our individual workouts and things, and then we just we've progressed with our offenses. We've added some new offenses, so it's new for everyone. So our freshmen aren't the only ones kind of lost in the light right now, but we're really happy with how our girls have gotten along and gotten to know each other off the floor as well.
Talk about, and you mentioned with your coaching staff, that's intact and both are back. Talk and introduce the folks watching to your staff and what their roles are with this team.
Sure. I am probably one of the most fortunate coaches in the world to have Becca and Taylor. Becca Schimmer, she returns for her 2nd year as our graduate assistant. She is from West Strand High School, local, played actually softball at William Woods for a couple of years, but was originally going to play basketball and had quite a few knee surgeries. And so a great basketball mind, again, another person that just brings such an intense competitive spirit to our staff. And she does a ton of recruiting. She recruits a lot, our junior college kind of contact for us. And then a lot of high school kids. And then Taylor Posale is back for his second year as our graduate assistant. He's from Minnesota, was a former high school coach, head coach, and so he brings just a wealth of knowledge from that aspect of the X's and O's, and then also is big on the recruiting front. So both of them were out all summer. They're spending their time right now sending mail outs and calling and texting all our high school recruits and junior college recruits. So for them to know what I expect, I feel so fortunate. I think they do all the work anymore, and I just get the credit. So really lucky to have them back. And, the girls are really comfortable with them. The returners have done a great job helping the newcomers understand what their roles are as well. And, if you need something, that they can go directly to one of my assistants first. I
know with talking with the new men's assistant, Thomas Brock, last week, a lot of his involvement to continue what his brother did as well when he was an assistant with Matt, with Bob Burchard, was a lot of the film study, and I know that's a big thing, obviously, game planning, not just your opponent, but also taking tape and watching yourself and doing self-critiques. Discuss how do you do that, or what's your philosophy on that aspect of coaching versus the physically out there on the court shooting and drills and that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's probably the least glamorous part of our job. We're in the office quite a bit, or we're at home, always watching film, whether it's on us. We film our practices. We chart all kinds of things from, just the standard scoring and rebounding to how many high fives do you give, how many high fives do you receive in a practice, what kind of energy are you bringing, and that all takes time for us. Our coaches also are very involved in our academics with our players, and so they're spending time on their own tutoring our players if they need extra help in a class. We are always observing them, with study tables where they're just investing all their time in other things other than the players seeing what they're doing. So they, for our film, we typically will kind of break it up and they each get a certain opponent, but for us, I spend a little bit more time watching our film on our team, and they focus more on our opponents.
Gotcha. Split the roles.
A little bit, as much as we can.
And they go on the farther drives for recruiting, if possible.
Basically, yeah. They're young.
The delegation.
Right?
That's what you get to do as the head coach. But that's a big part of it. Obviously, you've got your team, like you said. You've already kind of got some players lined up for the future, but you've got to kind of always look ahead to see what that is. And the mix has always been a good mix of some JUCO transfers and some of the high school stars from the area. I think that's one of the big things about Columbia College and all the sports. You start looking down the list and you start seeing high schools and hometowns that, like yourself, from smaller towns in this area that have an opportunity to play at that next level and stay here close to home.
Yeah, definitely. And we talk to all of our recruits in the recruiting process about that. We go after kids who we believe they have similar backgrounds. They've grown up in similar ways. And so we know that they're going to get along and they understand they have the same core values. They a lot of times they have a great work ethic, and that takes us so far. And they're kids that are standouts on their team, as you said. And so they know that they can bring it every day, and that just elevates our competition every day in practice and helps our team succeed.
Talk about the schedule. It's about time the calendar's almost flipping to November 1st, the first few games, and with the new expanded AMC conference, there's only a handful of non-con, and all of a sudden you're in conference games before the turkey and Thanksgiving mashed potatoes are being served. But talk about the first few games coming up for Coach Keller's basketball team.
Well, we're going to open, officially we'll have an exhibition game next Tuesday at Drury University, who comes in. They're preseason ranked number 10 in the nation in Division II, so club that went 25-4 and is very, very good. So we know we're going to have a really early test. That'll just be an exhibition game, and then our regular season games on the 6th and 7th. McPherson out of Kansas and Brescia out of Kentucky will both be here. Teams that finished about middle of the pack in their conference, great teams that we know we're going to see a lot of different looks, like a few different zones, some man-to-man stuff, and hopefully get our feet, wet into the kind of the season again, let our freshmen get some experience. Hopefully see, we can open that with 2 quick games. It's tough to play back-to-back, so our girls are going to understand right away kind of that turnaround, and then we scheduled some really tough non-conference games. I don't know what I'm doing to our club, but we play at Mid-America Nazarene this year. We play at Baker. We play at Central Methodist, which are all teams that have been ranked in the top 25 or receiving votes from last season. I know Mid-America and Baker were both picked 1st and 3rd respectively in their conference preseason polls. So really don't have much time to hang out. We bring Georgetown College in on November 13th to our place, and another game that perennially a national tournament team. They have a great coach, and we're expected to be challenged up, top to bottom in the non-conference, and then right into our conference. Hopefully prepares us for Central Baptist, the new team that, as you had alluded to, and then Lyon College, who's very likely one of the best teams in our league this year.
Plus, there's that Freed Hardman again, but it's kind of pretty good. I don't know,
bad.
just like making it to title games a lot. So, but those non-con, and it's the same thing we talk about with Coach Washington. I know Coach Klein with a lot of the soccer games early in the season, you get a pretty good barometer. And yeah, ultimately it matters what you do in the conference. But you get the girls a pretty good look at where they're at kind of against some of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, we're going to know right away. Like I said, next Tuesday at Drury, we're going to have a pretty quick gauge on what we need to work on immediately, and unfortunately won't have a ton of time to do that before our season opens up. But we want to be prepared for the national tournament, not just our conference season. And so we want to be prepared for Freed Hardeman when we have to go there, and for Lyon College when they come here early. And so we've got to go play some tough competition in the off season and in that non-conference schedule to be ready for our conference games.
Well, good luck the rest of the practices, and before you know it, it'll be ball time for real.
That's right. We're excited for it.
Welcome back for season 2. Coach Jessica Keller, Cougar women's basketball coach. Full schedule, meet the new players, the stats, and everything online at ColumbiaCougars.com. And again, the 6th and 7th at Friday, Saturday, the Cougars will be here at Southwell Complex. My name is Cosmo. Coach Keller, thanks again for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, come on out, watch the Cougars play. Check out some road games as well. Again, the full schedule and more at ColumbiaCougars.com.